Good morning to Doctor and my fellow friends. My name is Jia Jian. Today I'm going to introduce my research which is about the profitability analysis of internal and external factors. The company that I choose is PBB Group Berhad, which is in Malaysia. The problem statement that I found in the PBB Group Berhad is the decrease of the net profit. There, there are numerous factors that will affect the PBB Group Berhad profitability. In my research, there are three aims, which is investigate how internal factors affect PBB Group Berhad profitability and investigate how external factors affect PBB Group Berhad profitability and the internal and external factors affect the PBB Group Berhad profitability. Okay, in my research, the profitability become my main topic due to it is a measurement of efficiency, which means that a company profitability depends on the ability of the company in managing their resources to reproduce the return. Then, due to the minimal impact of entry restriction, the food and beverage industry is a highly competitive sector, which lead to higher expense and lesser profit. So through the study, uh, we need we can figure out how can we improve our profit based on the credit risk, liquidity risk, operational risk, and the market risk. Okay, the internal variable that I use in my study is current ratio, debt to income, average collection period, operating margin, and operational ratio, while the external variable are the gross domestic product rate, inflation rate, interest rate, exchange rate, and unemployment rate. Okay, through the SPS software, the impact of the independent variables on the dependent variables will be shown by using the multiple regression analysis. Okay, based on the finding of the discrete statistic, we found that average correction period, GDP, inflation, and the interest rate were unstable during the past 5 years due to the standard deviation more than 1. There are some reasons which cause this situation happen, which are the poor receivable management and a factor called the COVID-19 is spreading, which caused the market uncertainty. In the correlation table, there are some variables have the relationship with the dependent variable due to the p-value is less than 0.05. The variable which have the relationship with the dependent variables are the operational ratio, operating margin, and the unemployment rate. Okay. We found that the larger portfolio concentration represent the higher operational risk and contribute to worse profitability. Then the operational risk is reduced when the operational ratio is lower and operating margin are higher. That's how the operational ratio and operating margin has the relationship with the return on asset. Then in the unemployment rate side, the outsourcing and employing the foreign labor will reap in the benefit of course according to the Keoshin. Then the unemployment rate will influence the wage inflation which will gain from the cost saving. It will help to improve the profitability of the company. Okay, what we can get from the model summary, which is the adjusted R square. In the adjusted R square, when it is higher, which means it is more fitter with the research. Then through these three tables, we found that the model summary for internal variable and external variable are the more fitter for the research due to the adjusted R square is 0.85, which is higher than other two tables. Okay, in the coefficient side, we can know that the variable has the significant impact to the return on asset or not. Okay, based on these two tables, we found that there are no variables that have the significant impact to the return on asset due to the p-value is more than 0.05. Okay, in coefficient for internal variable and external variable table, the result is same due to the p-value also more than 0.05. Okay, these three coefficient table illustrate that when the p-value is more than the significant level of 0.05, there is insufficient evidence in the sample to draw a conclusion that a link exists in the population. Okay, in the conclusion, there are some variables that have relationship with the annual profit of PBB group per head, which is operating margin, operational ratio, and unemployment rate based on the correlation table. Okay, as a result, PBB group per head need to focus on this variable to increase their annual profit. Okay, in my opinion, there are some recommendations to improve the PBB group per head annual profit. First and foremost, in the operating margin and operational ratio side, they can investing in the new project using debt funding. This is due to the debt funding enables the business to take advantages of tax relief and lower their WACC, both of which will boost the operating margin. Then the increased project will also result in new running costs, which also will raising the operational ratio. Then the higher operating margin and the operational ratio will lead to an increase in the earning of the company. Then in the unemployment rate side, they can gain benefit from the higher unemployment rate when they employ highly skilled individuals to manage the firm at a reasonable cost due to a greater demand for the employment possibility than there are available positions. Then PBB Group Berhad also has the option to decline to raise the employee basic pay in an economy with a higher unemployment rate, so they can save from the cost, which also will increase the annual profit. So that's all for me. Thank you for listening.